All right, so welcome to week 7. I'm going to go ahead and, just like I always do, share my screen with you here. So that way then I can kind of show you what the plan is for the week. So again, we're kind of moving right along with the skeletal system. And so for lecture this week, again, if you ever forget, again, you can just always come back to this lecture schedule. So I'm just going to pull it up for you. But for lecture this week, we're going to continue on with the skeletal system, and we're actually going to kind of go along with lab, and we're going to have a lecture on the axial skeleton and then the appendicular skeleton. So you can see here, we're in week 7 here, and we're just going to be finishing off the skeleton appendicular as the axial as well as the appendicular. And then we're also going to do a short lecture on joints. And then you're going to see that this is going to go right hand in hand with lab, which is really nice. And then don't forget to take that lecture quiz. So if you look here again, the quiz date will be here, but it'll also be in the syllabus on October 7th. And that lecture quiz will be on the skeleton. So it'll be on the axial and appendicular skeleton. But anyway, again, hopefully that lecture will go kind of nice hand in hand with lab. So I think you'll find that this will kind of catch you up with lecture and lab together and make things a little bit easier for you. I know a lot of you we're talking about, there's a lot of memorization at this point in the game, and there is, and really the toughest part is that you need that repetition. So especially with as we get into lab, the more repetition that you can get with the material, the better it is. Some of you also had talked a little bit about with lecture, some of the processes that are kind of more involved, like endochondral ossification. That's kind of a step-by-step process that a lot of students were like, oh, I'm having trouble even on your muddiest point. I'm having trouble remembering the steps. So this is a really good example of something that you could write out on a piece of paper, write the steps out to endochondral ossification, put it on a piece of paper, and then tape it up to your mirror. Again, this is a time where you're going to brush your teeth twice a day. You can go over endochondral ossification twice a day. If you're doing that every day, then you're going to find that it's easier and easier and easier to remember that. Again, it's just that repetition is really your best tool in terms of some of the memorization stuff. So please try that out. You can also do some note cards. Again, I don't suggest that you do note cards of everything. Do note cards, spend your time on note cards for specific things that you're struggling with. So again, if you're struggling with endochondral ossification, put that step-by-step process on note cards, put them, in your purse or in your car or something like that, in a place where you think you might just, end up sitting somewhere for a few minutes, like you're sitting in line waiting to pick up your kids at school. You can quick go through endochondral ossification, or you're at lunch at work, and you can really quick go through that. So again, those are just a couple of study tools to help you guys save some time. Okay, so that's where we are in lecture. And then you're going to see again the week after we have another lecture exam practical cycle. So I feel like even with this 16-week class, it comes quickly. So again, if you're having trouble with anything or you're struggling with any concepts, please email me and we can set up a time to talk or whatever you need. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about what we're doing for lab this week. So I'm going to go down to the bottom here. We'll pull up lab. Lab this week is going to finish off the skeleton with the appendicular skeleton, the lower appendicular skeleton. And so this is going to be the pelvic girdle and then the lower limb. So again, if you're in this appendicular guide here, you're just going to scroll down here And you'll get into that pelvic girdle and then the lower limb. That's the lower appendicular skeleton. And so the pelvic girdle is actually going to consist of these two hip bones, which we call the os coxa. So here's an os coxa, here's an os coxa, and then the sacrum. Okay, so those are the bones, the sacrum, and then technically the coccyx as well. So those are the bones that are going to make up the pelvic girdle. And then you'll get into, and there are a lot of parts to the os coxa. These are some of the tougher bones to do, I think, in an online lab version because you can't manipulate them. So this is a case where if you can get to one of those bone boxes, whether it's in the study lab or the library, again, call the Red Mountain Library, make sure that they have those the bone box available for you before you go there. But if you can do that, or if you can go to one of those study labs at either the Red Mountain campus or the Southern and Dobson campus, those are going to be ideal for getting your hands on the bones if you need to get your hands on those bones. So again, you'll find all of that information here for the lab. And then just like always, there are always all kinds of study tools for you, again, on that lab page. So, you can do the 3D labeled models. So those, although I don't think they don't have any of the lower appendicular, unfortunately, because they were kind of putting that all together. So they don't have those in quite yet. But you can do, again, soft chalk labeling exercises. They do have the lower appendage for that one. And then, of course, study made flashcards. So there's pelvic girdle and lower extremity here. So again, some of those tools that you have. And then please make sure that you do the practice quizzes as well. Again, you can take them as many times as you want, and they're just for practice. So it's a great way to kind of test where you're at with each of those subjects. And then over the next weekend, if you want to watch, there's a review session video. Again, I did another review session video because I always, each semester, go to set up review sessions. Usually I can't get you online students together at a time that works for all of you. So I ended up just making review session videos. Okay. So I think, oh, and then you're going to go into joints for lab this week. So make sure that you pull this up. There's a nice PowerPoint for you, and you can go through these joints. The nice part is that the joints are going to be labeled after the bones that they're kind of connecting, okay? Or the areas of the bones that they're going in between. So, like here you can see like the iliofemoral ligament. Well, sorry, let me pull this up here. So you can see this is the iliofemoral ligament because it's between the ilium of the os coxa and then the femur. Okay. So again, the nice part is the joint names actually usually help you with where that ligament is running. And remember, ligaments are going to be attaching bone to bone. So tendons attach bone to muscle, but ligaments attach bone to bone. Okay, just as a reminder. So again, as you're going through the lab material, I know that it seems like a lot of memorization, but like I said, repetition is going to help you out with that. So the more that you can go through this, the better it is. I think that's all I have for you. So for this week, again, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me, and I'm happy to set up a time with you if you need to talk to me via Google Meet or Zoom or anything like that. But other than that, yes, please use all those study resources and get that repetition in. All right. Take care, guys.